Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Jared Moon. The Garage Gym Athlete Podcast is a result of my desire to build better humans, unequivocal coaches, and autonomous athletes. I've spent the last several years obsessing over program design, nutrition, and every other way you can optimize human performance. This podcast distills the latest scientific research with what I've learned and blends it with the not-so-scientific field of mental toughness. We are here to build you into a dangerously effective athlete. If you enjoy this podcast, you can find out more about our training at garagegymathlete.com. And if you want to pursue more into the field of coaching and programming, head to endof3fitness.com. Thanks for listening. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. Jared Moon here with Joe Courtney. What's up, Joe?
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Yeah, all of those things. And
Hi.
Zach Eason, how's it going, man?
Hey, good guys. How are you?
Hey,
Doing well. So this is Zach's second appearance on the podcast. So we're going to be doing updates. If you didn't catch his first one, you can search him by name and catch his first episode. But we will get the basic intro, man. What you do for a living, how you train, and where you're from.
Yeah, cool deal. So Zach Eason, married, 2 kids, third one on the way. I actually have a induction scheduled Monday. So we will have a little girl coming here in the next few days. So that's exciting.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. So work full-time Army National Guard down here in South Alabama. Been training Garage Gym almost 3 years. I think coming up this summer will be 3 years. So that's exciting. Yeah, beyond that, that's the basics. My update is extraordinarily long, so I don't want to belabor anything, beyond that.
Well, let's get into the updates, man. So we were just talking pre-podcast. We had so Zach's interview published March 2020, so right when the pandemic was kicking off. But we obviously record these things in advance, and so the word pandemic wasn't even really a thing the last time we chatted. So and I'm not sure that you have pandemic updates. I'm just letting you know how much can change in a short amount of time is crazy. But what are your updates, man? How's life? How's training?
It's good. Training's good. You know, on the life side of things, it got real hectic, right? So my full-time job is a battalion administrative officer, right? So I'm kind of the battalion commander during the week, and then the way the guard works is, on drill weekends, he shows up and I keep him up to speed and he does his command thing. So, but I was also myself a company commander at the same time. So I just came out of company command in January. So I just spent, 16 months with a company command during the pandemic, and we're a medical company. So we had lots of things we did, had folks on active duty orders for 90 days. We did, we still had our annual training to do and those kind of things. So it was pretty wild for the past, I feel like I just have been able to take a breath really for about the last 16 months coming out of command earlier this month. So that was certainly a challenge. Finished up phase 2 of staff college as well during that time. So I was trying to tackle Command and General Staff College and, finish up those requirements. So yeah, there wasn't a lot of time to do much else. The training though, my training has been going really well. I've swapped from H2K to Endure. And so Mark has been smoking us with that. Does Marco still do the Endure stuff? Yeah. So been trying to do that. One of I know we're not necessarily at goals yet, but it kind of ties into the training. So one of the things we're doing, a couple of us, there's a Norwegian foot march at Camp Shelby coming up in March. And so what that looks like, it's a 30 kilometer, which is 18.6 miles for those of us that aren't very internationally savvy. So 18.6 miles, you have, my age group's got 4.5 hours to do it. And I got to have a 25-pound pack on. Okay. And that doesn't sound too bad. But when you dive into the numbers, that's a 14:29 pace for that duration. So I can't quite walk that fast, just walk. So my plan is to do a 1 minute jog, 2 minute walk. And that's given me a little bit of a buffer. But man, I did a 3-hour training ruck on this Monday. And that was quickly the hardest workout I've ever done. And also probably the greatest way to build mental toughness, because my goodness, something's going to hurt when you're working for that long. Something's going to start feeling twingy or whatever. So you just kind of have to push through. But yeah, that's the big update. And also, like we talked about pre-podcast, is I'm kind of waiting on word back whether or not we will go to the National Capital Region, go up to National Guard Bureau, get to work up there, which is exciting.
Yeah, really exciting, man. And what did change for you? Let's say just personal training during the pandemic. Did anything change, or pretty much everything remained the same, or were you having to like switch times, or anything different for you?
Yeah. So what was a little bit fun about it was, as a commander, typically, as a guard commander, I don't see my troops but once a month, right, on drill weekend. Well, with the pandemic thing going on, we had a small team of 12 to 15 folks on orders for an extended period of time. We were, getting in medical supplies and prepping to operate like an alternate care site if that was going to be required. And so, we kind of put ourselves on like a little active duty time schedule. We'd show up and we'd all do PT up in the gym, and then Fridays I kind of turned into the end of 3 5K Fridays, and boy, they hated that. Our first sergeant tenderly renamed it the End of Life 5K, for himself. So I thought, that was fantastic. I used that in my change of command speech going out. I was like, well, top, never forget the End of Life 5Ks that we did. So yeah, that was a whole lot of fun. We were able to get some people off of PT flags wherever, when they came on orders, they couldn't necessarily pass the PT test, and we just worked with them. And so that was a blast, getting to almost be like a real live active duty commander for a little bit. And so, yeah, my training, I trained just kind of the same and tried to show, lead by example, and then would plan some fun, really smoke show kind of workouts on Fridays. And it was a good time.
Nice.
Yeah. And the EO3 5K, I know the PT test has changed quite a bit, and we did talk about that some last time, but it's so well designed to just increase your aerobic capacity for running, and the push-ups and the sit-ups that are still tested and stuff. And I do remember last time we talked about the changes to the Army physical fitness test. How's that been? I'm sure you guys are fully implemented and everything. Like, how's that going?
Well, you would think so, but there's been a lot kind of happened on that front. So yeah, it was supposed to implement in FY20 as a one-time, basically the old school term diagnostic test for the Guard. COVID, the policy pretty much DOD wide for the first 6 or 7 months of that was you're not conducting PT tests, you're not conducting height, weight, weigh in, those type of events, because you can't maintain any type of social distance. They kind of broke off of that a little bit, and made some caveats like, hey, if you're flagged currently because you can't pass a PT test, you can take a PT test to come off a flag. Implement your safety measures, all your, your preventive medicine, med protocols, all that kind of stuff. But, and then Congress got, they got wind that on the female side, there was a significant fail rate on the leg tuck. And so they did what lawmakers typically do and kind of slow everything down, and let's do a review and make sure it's not overly discriminatory to that. So there's kind of been a pause, right? I mean, and what's weird about being in the Army or in the service, and this would be surprising to Joe too, is, they basically said that if you've got a passing fitness exam, APFT, it's good until like March of 22, because they're just trying to figure out, you got the pandemic, so you don't want to break those protocols and endanger people that way. You've got, but man, that's crazy, right? Like the Army, like we do PT tests, you do them twice a year, if not more, and all this kind of stuff. So to just say that we're just kind of waiting to figure it out is a very interesting place in my mind. But yeah, it's Congress has basically ordered a review of that. And so we don't even down at my level know what that looks like yet. Like we're just doing familiarization, kind of trying to convince folks that you're going to have to train differently. If this is the PT test, you can't just wait till, 30 days out and start doing some push-ups, sit-ups, and a little bit of jogging. You have to have some strength or you won't pass, right? So it's wild.
what's crazy about that, I just, I wouldn't want to be involved in any part of the fitness assessment crew come March 22, because there are a lot of people like yourself who are awesome and will continue to train and keep things, but a lot of young soldiers out there who hear that they don't have to take a PT test for 18 months or 2 years or whatever it is for them. They're going to do a whole lot of nothing that whole time.
Yeah, reckoning.
It is. Yeah. It's just bizarre. I can't fathom how they came to that conclusion. I mean, I get the pandemic, was probably a huge piece of it. But man, yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, man. Well, another thing, it looks like there's been a promotion since our last podcast too, man. Congrats on that.
Thanks. It finally happened.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. When did that happen?
Goodness, December. I got selected in August, and then just kind of getting the paperwork piece through up, and all the offices got to go through, and so I pinned on in December.
Okay, awesome. Congrats, man. That's a really big deal.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. 8 years later, 8 short years.
Well, cool, man. Well, any other updates or things that we should know before we jump into the other questions?
Not that I can think of. I'm excited about that Ruck March, although we were playing around on Google the other day looking at, I was trying to look at the route a little bit, and then I was like, oh, let me see what this badge, you actually get awarded a badge you can wear on your dress uniform, right? So it's kind of a foreign award. So I was like, oh, that's going to be pretty cool. Let me go see what that looks like. That thing is 3/4 of an inch tall. I was like, on my dress uniform, it's going to look like I've got like fuzz on my left shoulder. And I'm walking 4.5 hours to do it. I was like,
you better wear that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. Oh, for sure. But I'm just like, dadgummit, I wanted that to be like this big, awesome, like I walked a really long way, really fast, kind of, yeah. No,
well, don't put it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just funny. When I was in ROTC and, in college, you get a couple of ribbons to put on your dress uniform just for like certain things, and then they're almost like gimme type ribbons. And then I had joined this organization, and they're like, oh, well, this organization has one award, so you can wear this this ribbon right here, and you'll have one more than all the other freshman cadets coming in. And I was like, okay, awesome. And I look at it, and it's this big, bright orange ribbon, like. And I was like, it's kind of weird. Like, it doesn't look like any of the other ribbons I've seen. And so I put it on, and I find out I'm the only one wearing it. Like, out of all these people who should be wearing it. And I was totally getting played by upperclassmen. And one of the majors at the detachment walks up to me. He looks, he points, like his finger like comes down by my face and then points at this orange thing. And he goes, what's that? And I was like, I don't know. Like, someone told me I should wear it. And he's like, okay, go fix yourself and then come back. And I was like, all right, on it.
Yeah, oh, that's fantastic.
Burn.
Yeah, big burn. All right, man. Well, let's see if any of these answers have changed. What's the hardest workout you've ever done?
It quickly was that Monday, the 3-hour, Ruck March I did Monday. So I had about 35 pounds on my back. I did 1 minute of an airborne shuffle, more or less, and then 2 minutes of kind of stretching out walk. I stopped at 2 hours and sat my feet up for 3 minutes, just because, man, I'm a big heavy dude, so these dogs start barking real hard after about an hour 45, and so. But yeah, that was tough. Between I was in a pain cave probably from an hour 45 to 2:45. Like, my left inside groin kind of tightened up a little bit. I was like, what is that about? It's weird. And then my feet just are gonna be barking. So kind of came out of that about 2.5 hours, 2 hours 45. But that was an event, right? So I've got to maintain just shy of 9 minutes per kilometer, and so. I'm trying to go down closer to about 8:40. That gives me a little bit of a buffer to put my feet up halfway, for 2 to 3 minutes, have a Cliff Bar, get some of the blood out of my legs, right? And then probably we'll try to do that again at 3 hours on the actual event day. But man, it just, that's a long time to like focus on walking fast. And it gets really hard to start jogging every 2 minutes after, a couple of hours. So,
yeah, putting a time limit on that does change it, because there's not, most people can survive things, right? Like, but
yep.
you have to, like you said, be dialed in mentally to maintain a pace, and breaks can only be so long. There's a lot of, you have to be on point for that entire time.
Yeah, and that's a lot, and that's just a long time to focus. Like, on the day of, it'll probably take me about. I mean, I'm expecting to slow way down. Like, I slowed down after about 2.5 hours. I started slowing down. Right, I couldn't stretch out on the walk like I needed to. My jogs were getting a little bit slower. My kilometer average went up to just shy of 9, where it had been down about 8.5, 8:40. So I'm expecting that last hour to be a survival. And so I'm hoping to give myself a buffer before then. But I expect to finish at 4:20, 4:25, 4:28 and be like, I made it, whatever it is. But so it's that is a good way to build mental toughness, is to go ruck march for a long time with a standard, right? Like you told, not just slow, like, I'm just going to go walk for 3 hours. Yeah, most people can just go walk for 3 hours, but like, hold yourself to like a certain type of pace where it's uncomfortable and it's a whole different event. It's really not even in the same conversation anymore.
Yeah.
So you're just wearing your normal boots?
Yes. Yeah. So the standard is we have to be in 670-1. So I'll be in my full OCPs, patrol cap, boots, and then the pack's got to weigh at least 25 pounds. So.
Yeah. Don't, no need to be a hero. Don't go with a 30-pound pack. You got 25.
No, well, yeah,
even.
Yeah, exactly. Training, yeah. Oh, exactly. And they take out your water at the end. So I'm like, I'm going to do like 27.5 pounds, so that when they take it out, it's like 25. You passed.
That's awesome. All right, man.
After that would suck. You like cross and like 20. Sorry.
Oh, they reweigh at the end. Yeah, that
no,
would.
That's the. Yeah, they don't wait till the end. That's their standard, right? So yeah, you get to the end, they take all your water weight out, like like camelback or whatever. And then they put it on the scale and be like, cool, you passed. Oh, you didn't pass. I would be irate if I didn't. I can't sure. It'd be so awful.
Soak your bag in water real quick.
That would sting. That would sting.
Oh, it would.
All right, man. In your opinion, what's the best activity for building mental toughness, and has that answer changed?
I think last time I said you should just join the Guard. And while that's still probably a valid, or join some type of service, right? Get something bigger than yourself, where your opinion is immediately mostly useless for a couple of years. Yeah, Joe knows. You both know. So that, but yeah, I mean, now that I've been training for this Ruck March for a while, and I think putting some weight on your back, holding yourself to a standard, and going at a pace for a period of probably 2 hours or more, because up to 2 hours, it really wasn't. I'd done a couple of 2-hour trains, and I was like, yeah, this is not bad. You didn't really have to. You didn't have to worry about fuel. You didn't have to worry about that. You could stay dialed in for 2 hours, but man, that third hour was where it was like, this is getting pretty tired. I don't really want to run when it tells me to run. I'd really rather just kind of lay on the ground and take a nap, but, so I think heavy load, long distance, kind of like you've talked about before, is probably the best way.
Love it. Now, if you don't have one piece of equipment to train with for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Golly, I think I said rower last time. And while that's very valid, I might swap that to barbell now. I'm doing the endurance, but I'm trying to maintain my strength. I would like to lose a little bit of weight while maintaining my strength. That's never been something I've been able to do before. So hopefully I can tackle that this time. But, I go with the barbell. Just the variety, is there. You can do pretty much anything. You can put it on your back and walk with it, right? So it can act like a rucksack. You can do cardio, you can do power, you can hit all the energy systems with a barbell as well, and so that's I'm going to go barbell. I know that's kind of a boring answer. I wish I was, more creative on that one, but
no, I love it.
So, are you still training at your garage?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, so like I said last time, right, we've got a little bit of a gym here. And so I was here mostly when we had the pandemic response and people were here and doing all kinds of that kind of stuff. I was mostly here. Definitely on the weekends, I'm at home doing a long workout on Saturdays. But I'm probably two out of the 6 days I train are probably at the home gym. I got to be here, and I like to swim once a week. So, it's good. We've got the rower. We actually got a treadmill coming in. It's not one of the curved, motorless. My wife wasn't super keen on those, so we got a treadmill coming in. She's wanting to get back to some running when she gets done with baby number 3, right? So she wants to kind of train towards a half marathon and those kind of things. So I'm excited about that, really.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. What is the best advice you have for all the Garage Gym athletes out there?
It's going to be to trust the system, right? And give yourself some grace. So I think y'all talked about this on a podcast not long ago. Was it the self-compassion one? That wasn't that long ago. I listened to that one on my long Ruck March Monday. And so that was that occupied 1 hour. I could stay engaged.
We need longer podcasts.
I know. Well, no. So I was like 30 minutes to get warmed up with my music and get in my pace. And I'll do an hour podcast, go back to music. And then on the day of, I'll probably have another hour podcast that I roll through as well. So that worked out really well. I like that plan. But yeah, trust the process. Give yourself some grace. You will see improvements. I'm still, getting stronger, getting faster at the same time. And maybe it's not as fast if I focus on one or the other, right? But, I can still almost deadlift the house and break a concept 2 rower. So that's always fun, right? Freaking just yank on that thing. But yeah, trust the process. Give yourself some grace. I certainly have to. Probably don't as much as I should, in line with the self-compassion theory that was previously discussed. But yeah, that's it.
Awesome, man. Well, Zach, I appreciate you taking the time to do the podcast today, man, for being a part of the community and sharing some updates with us. I can't wait to hear about how the Ruck March goes. So you have to get back on and let us know all the details of that event, man. But best of luck. And again, thanks for being a part of the community.
Yeah, no, I plan to. Like I said, this year was crazy. I couldn't even stay really engaged kind of on the social media piece, right? Like, getting there for a while, I was pretty engaged on the Facebook pages and doing that kind of stuff. And it was all I could do to keep my head above water. So yeah, I'm going to try to start posting some more back on there. I'll probably try to figure out a way to maybe live track the event and post on there so people can follow along. And that'll be pretty fun to do. You'd be like, man, is he still walking? Like, yep,
I bet we'll have some
later.
crazy people that would join, or at least,
that was my thought too, right?
Ruck.
Yeah, that's a great meet yourself Saturday is just walk forever. And at a certain threshold, really.
That's great, man. Well, thanks again, man.
Hey, I appreciate
Thanks
you guys.
for listening to the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. If you want to learn more, go to garagegymathlete.com. You can learn about our training. Let us send you a copy of our book, The Garage Gym Athlete, or you can even get featured on the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. Thanks for listening.